guys, good evening. So we are English conversation community basically. So we are established officially since 2011, and in the past, originally we conduct a meeting at IPTEX Unhas, but now we are trying to um, conduct discussion through Zoom meeting because and please respect each other, respect other people's opinion, don't book shaming, yeah.
There are 7 stories inside the book, and I like all of them. I mean, it is related to me because I understand the situation. But one of the memorable story that I've read from the book is the title is Pekerja Seks juga juga pekerja. Why? Because first I ever wrote a paper about how we see prostitute, how I see a prostitute, how vulnerable women who work in prostitute and how dangerous it is. But in another side, it is like freedom for women to choose whether they want to be a prostitute or not. So
you are going to face the external stakeholders. Yeah, that's what I can say right now. Well, as a practitioner, I believe the most interesting part of the book is the very technical stuff, like how to develop the frameworks for the communication strategies and plans. So yeah, because as you know, well, only you know that I don't have any relevant background in communication, so
Yeah.
it's really important for me to to develop that strong foundation in the theoretical and practical aspects of the communications, which I didn't have earlier. So
finish reading it. It's not. It's like a clickbait title actually for me. Okay, so the book is basically about, let's just say, exorcism, but not the way you think. So basically, the real point of the book is about fanaticism in religion. Especially in this book is Christian Protestant. I don't know if it's the English correct, Protestant. Yeah, it's rarely it's rarely in Indonesian literature a book talking about fanaticism in other religion except besides Islam. You know that maybe like you've seen a lot of fanatism in Islam, especially in media like movies or maybe other books. But fanatism in other religions such as Christian or maybe other religion is really rare to find in Indonesian literature. The point from this is about fanatism in religion, especially we talk about Mawar Saron's parents, because Mawar Saron's parents really a fanatic in religion. I mean, like they don't really talk to their children, but they don't really talk to their children because they are really busy with activity in the church. And then it makes Mawar Saron lost her kasih sayang gitu. Jadi dia kehilangan kasih sayang dari orang tuanya. And then that's why she became rebel teenager. And then yeah, the point of this book is like how parents sometimes like become the source of problem, why the children become a problem.
So yeah, there's aside from the Chinese culture about their work ethic, and they also share the tips and tricks about the business, how they menjalankan business, and I even never imagined that they're so clever. Sometimes often licik.
As a group leader, I think I will start the discussion. So this meeting is about books that we like, books that we have read maybe before. The human eye is God's longest creation. Oh, so much of the world passes through the pupil and still it holds nothing. The eye alone in its socket doesn't even know there is another one. Just like it, an inch away, just as hungry as empty. Opening the front door to the first snowball of my life. Whisper, look.
Actually, one books that I'm interested in, I have been book at the bookstores. The title is about autonomy habits. The author is James Clears. This is book that I've been autonomy habits.
Yeah, it's super helpful.
Very inspirational novel, and a lot of people found themselves more motivated, more inspired to achieve any academic pursuit. It's not little that people who have read it have achieved many great things in their life, and hopefully so for you.
The book is talk about how we build our habits, especially change our habits by wake up in the morning in 5 a.m. So the books talk about many or a lot of beneficial when we wake up in the morning, and also the book also explain how the systematically or how the habits works with our for example, like we want to achieve something, we want to change our habits, just wake up in the 5 a.m. And the strategy actually that the Robin Sharma shared on the book is 20 minutes in the morning, especially in 5 a.m. So the dopamine detox, for example, it works in the morning. Also, how we breathe or ruin the laziness, for example, or anxiety, we can change that by wake up in the morning.
I just want to introduce a little bit why I met Hack, Hasanuddin English Community. When I went to Makassar, and close friends tell me that I must go to Hack in offline meeting. So I joined here. And then I just observed about the moderator or admin just now. I need to join tonight, this week, because I just want to observe how the method, how the situation, the discussion. But the first impression that I find is good. Yeah, to improve our speaking. Thank you. Yeah, talk about the power of now. We live in the present moments, and the main idea of the book is how to emphasize the importance of living in the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. And the writers argues that the mindset can help individuals find inner peace, improve their relationships, and live more fulfilling life. So the sentence of ego stops you from being happy. I understand as the ego can be a major obstacle to happiness, and it thrives on drama, negativity, and comparison. So letting go of ego can lead to greater peace and contentment.
Currently, I read, No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai.
Oh, a Japanese novel. Is it a Japanese?
Yes, as known as in Indonesia as a Gagal sebagai Manusia. Yeah, it's about, actually it's about, it's a fiction, it is a novel, and it is about somebody, have a disappointment to see the reality, because the boy realized that the world is so complicated and it's not like what we are seeing in the surface.
Her novel called Pulang. This is a new. This is a new novel. Not a new novel. This is a new. How to say? A new print. A new print on a classic novel about Indonesian dark history. Indonesia dark history back in New Order era, back when Suharto come to power. So it's about political exile who couldn't return to Indonesia because if they decide to return to Indonesia, they will be captured and they will probably finish forever. So yeah, it is a bitter story, a bitter reality of some of our people who couldn't return for ages because they decided they don't want to offer allegiance to the new order regime, and they don't want to condemn Indonesian. And from this novel, we witnessed that a lot of people who cannot escape, who cannot flee the country, who try to stay hidden, but eventually found. They met a very bitter fate, and it is an eye-opening read about our history. And we should do anything in our power to prevent any kind of this even to occur in our country.
So I hope you enjoy your discussion in your breakout rooms.
A lot of intriguing books were shared in our discussion, and I cannot pick just one to put in this conclusion. I will tell everything briefly. First, we have 3 self-improvement books recommended in our discussion. First one is what is that? Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is a very famous self-improvement book that talk about our habits, how it shapes us, and how we shape our habits. It is an interesting book to check if we want to try to build a better habit, a more productive one. And I think the second one is 5 a.m. Club. It's also a self-improvement book that talk about how waking up early at 5 a.m. in the morning can improve our life, can improve our daily routine to make us even a better individual. And the third one is about the power of now. It's also a self-improvement book slash a philosophical one that talks about how living in the present can help us bring peace to our life, can bring less worry, and just make our life more peaceful. There are some novels recommended the famous Laskar Pelangi that has inspired a lot of people to pursue their dream, to pursue their academic career. And I myself share about a novel on Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous. It's a novel about life, about a family who fled Vietnam in the 60s because of the U.S. invasion. They fled to the U.S. They barely speak any English, and they try their best to live their life in their new home. And also there's also another novel one, what we call Human, a Japanese novel about how a very young boy found this what a very dissatisfaction, very far from what they imagine, and it is a very bitter realism thrown to our face as a reader. And there's also a very intriguing questions about is a comic considered a book? And we in the group agree that comics are also books. Okay, that's all I think uh, for the conclusion of our meeting or our group. Thank you.
I will continue about the conclusion of my group. So we have also various kinds of books, start from the non-fiction, fiction. There's a novel here, and there's a textbook. Okay, so I review about the novel that we discussed in our group on Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Fong, about the a boy who writes a letter to his illiterate mother. So through the letter, they tell us about the story of his life, about the Vietnam War, etc. And then Budi review about the exorcism and the fanatism of Protestant. So it's quite unique because fanatism is also related to Islam nowadays. Yeah, or people always tell us about the fanatism in Islam, but this is so unique because the book titled Lucifer Lucifer by Fenerdi Handoyo tell us about the exorcism and the fanatism in Protestant, and the book criticizes about the people of this religion towards the fanatism. So the next one is Brother Naskar, a review about the book about communication, which is, the title is The Crisis Communication Textbook Approach by Kathleen Fernbanks. It's a kind of textbook, but it really relevant to those who have a career that need a communication skill, because it tells us about the strategies, and then it's really relevant to the industry to conduct an organization like this. And well, it's mostly the technical stuff here inside the book. And the Zakia always tells us about a nonfiction about Nyanyi Sunyi Parapuan by Dian Septi. I don't know about the author full name, but it tells us about there are 7 stories inside about women who mostly tells about the gender, sex harassment, and then the prostitution. So because this is really relatable to Zakia's career, so this is the book that she recommend the most. So for myself, I would recommend the trilogy of Taipan, how the conglomerate in this country was born, and it's mostly about the economic history of Indonesia. Start from they was born since their childhood, their conglomerate childhood, in the start from the Dutch colonialism until the B.J. Habibie regime. So it's really changed my mindset about this book, because you know, we know that the story behind the crisis in 98, and how their struggle, how this conglomerate struggle menjalankan bisnisnya from up and down, and then the dark side of the business itself in this country. So how to work together with the government, the bureaucrats and etc. So yeah, it's quite various, yeah, from the economic, slice of life, history, exorcism. I think it's really interesting in this in my group, by the way. We have a book giveaway for the lucky one. So yeah, let me spill about the book. It's Asian literature from Japan. The title is How Do You Live? So it's quite, can you see that? Oh my God, okay. How Do You Live by Genzaburo Yoshino. So it's a coming of age story. So it's quite tricky to look for a book that more relatable to our life. So it's easy to read, yeah, I think, because it's for young readers. So
Oscar.
Oh,
Finally,
no.
finally, after 3 times. Thank you, guys. I think that's all. Thank you for joining us tonight. So hopefully you have you enjoyed our discussion and got some book recommendation from our discussion tonight. So yeah, see you next time. Stay healthy and see you next week. Okay, bye bye.